Folks, let me tell you something. It is Thanksgiving week here in the United States, a time where families get reunited, people come together, seeing folks you haven't seen in a while, having some good food, camaraderie, and just kicking off the holiday season as one. And tonight, boy, did the Devils and Red Wings get real acclimated with each other. Oh, boy. Peace and calmness tonight? Ha! Oh, it was the complete opposite of that one, baby. What a physical hockey game that was tonight. During the whistle, after the game, which we'll get to. But first, most importantly, the Devils found a way to hold on and win it 4-3 tonight at The Rock. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Trevor, and tonight, oh, baby, we have one to go over. Dear Lord, man, what a game that was. First game in the jerseys for this year as they kick off the Jersey Bye-Bye Tour. First of 11 games. A good crowd. It was a little dead at first, and then people started to slowly come in as the game went on. But by the end, oh boy, everyone was on their feet. That was their tonight at The Rock. So, and, you know, going into this, Devils coming off that bad ending to the road trip, and I'm thinking to myself, what are they going to do? Are they going to come out and limp their way? Or are they going to step up? Are they actually going to come out and feed off the crowd? And that's what they did early. The Devils' first period tonight, folks, that was really impressive for a team reeling after 3 very bad losses and losing your team's best player in the process to a non-hockey injury. They get an early power play. Timo Meier scores. Great. Okay, Detroit ties the game a little bit later on. What are you going to do? And then, near the end of the period, Nico, Cody Glass, 3-1 lead for the Devils at that point, going into the intermission. Yes. That is what you wanted. Good start tonight offensively. Granted, it slowed way down afterwards. I mean, Detroit just took over the rest of the game in terms of offense tonight. And then, you know, in the first as well, teams started getting into it. Nico got hit. That's how Timo got his power play goal. Nico got, oh man, did he get absolutely destroyed into the boards. Questionable call. You could argue maybe a 5, but it was just just a legit collision. So 2 minutes. All right, fair enough. It wasn't even on that power play. It was one later on in the period, where Timo got his. I forgot. But, you know, that's what sparked things right there. Detroit taking out the captain. All right? This is where the physicality came into play. So Detroit serves the penalty, and immediately when they get out of the box, who goes after him? Stefan Noesen stepping up for the captain. And, people are on the fence about that sort of stuff. But you know what? This team doesn't really do it that often. So I'm glad they stepped up. You have to in that situation. You can't let Detroit know that they could just push you around. And that's what the Devils did tonight. They fought hard. They fought back. Both teams got shots of their own tonight. All right, let's be honest here. You know, Devils had some that maybe they could have called a penalty and should have gone Detroit's way. Detroit did as well for most of the game. And then the brawl at the end, which again, we'll get to. But as of right now, Devils lead 3-1 after the first, all right? Second period, that's when Detroit turned it on, and the Devils started hanging on for dear life at that point. They made it 3-2 and just controlled, man. When they were in the offensive zone tonight for Detroit, they really just turned it on, getting those chances. Devils had tough times getting the puck out of their zone. It wasn't ugly. It wasn't pretty after the first period. Let's put it that way. But then nearing the end of the second, who gets one? Connor Brown. Thank you very much. Finding one and just puts it into the net, tucks it in. thank you very much. 4-2 Devils at that point. I'm like, all right, 2-goal lead, going into the third. Detroit's going to push hard. So let's see what you guys can do. Well, Detroit did push hard, getting to within 1 at that point. But then it was just hanging on for dear life at that point. The Devils did not deserve to win this game tonight. Detroit really outplayed them in terms of 5v5, all right? And just getting those offensive possessions, really, Markstrom stood on his head tonight. We got to give credit to Jacob Markstrom. Yes, it's been rough, but that was probably his best game of the season tonight in terms of what he did. Yeah, he gave up 3 goals. It wasn't pretty goals against average rise, which hurts his numbers even more, but still, he kept the Devils in this game tonight, making some clutch saves, including a double pad to Stacker. Ooh, Jacob, I didn't know you had that one in you, buddy. So 4-3 at that point. Devils hanging on. Less than a minute to go now. Detroit continuing just in our offensive zone. Devils tired at that point. Detroit takes a timeout with 11 seconds left. Again, the physicality the whole night. Both teams going at it. Siegenthaler took a shot at a Red Wings player as well at some point. Could have called a penalty on that one. Wasn't. Again, you could have called it, but the way the night was going, the teams were just going at it. And then the end of the game, Devils hang on. Markstrom makes clutch save after clutch save. And then the brawl ensues. Dear Lord, what a brawl that was at the end. I've been going to games for a very long time. And yeah, after the whistles, those little pushes and scrums, But after the horn, and especially like that, where it just went on and on. Nico, he sure wanted to get some. Brad, Mercer, they were all in it. Siegenthaler as well. Even Jacob Markstrom got involved. Are you kidding me? Whole arena on their feet, going nuts. And this is all after the horn ends for the final whistle, for the final horn after the game. The NHL, the refs assessed a whole bunch of penalties after the game. Go check out the box score, really, and see all the penalties that took place after the game ended. But the Devils held their own. It wasn't pretty, and they fought. They played gritty. They played tough, and that was a win. Not the prettiest, but a win is a win, and they didn't get pushed around. That is the key takeaway for tonight. Detroit tried, but the Devils fought back and held on in the end. That is one where Devils teams in the past would let one slip away, but it did not happen tonight. So credit the boys. Again, not the prettiest, but they got the job done, and we will take that for a team that needed a win in the most desperate of ways. So good job, refresh, get yourself ready for Wednesday, and who knows what's going to happen then. Devils and Detroit, as I said in the pregame report, they're not going to see each other till March. Will things die down by then? I don't know, depending on what the standings will be, but we will see. So, that will do it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Trevor. Next video will be Wednesday night, Thanksgiving Eve, when the St. Louis Blues come into town to play the Devils. And, hey, man, whatever happens, happens. But that was a good one tonight. And the Devils keep their win streak alive in terms of regulation wins at the Rock. Not all perfect, because they lost it overtime the last time they played at home. But in regulation, still perfect, and we'll take it, baby. So, again, folks, that'll do it. Thank you all so much. My name is Trevor, and I'll see you for the next one. What a game that was tonight, baby. Woo!